Well, today is March 22nd and it's time to plant. Get started on some planting here. This is jalapeno bed. That will be another pepper bed maybe this summer sometime. I had to repair the ground where sinkholes were forming because of rotten roots from there goes the kitty cat, from a pine tree that was cut down decades ago. It just started, you could walk over this ground and suddenly your foot would drop a foot into an old root hole where the wood had rotted out. So I dug all them roots up, or as much of them as I could find. I got to get some fill dirt to fill it in, rebuild the bed, and get it all built back. But today I will be putting in these 5 jalapeno plants there, and I need to get a couple of banana pepper plants to go here at the end. And then we go over here and we're going to plant all these tomato plants too. Maybe. We'll see how late it is. Well, let me plant these peppers. I'm going to throw a little handful of some organic fertilizer, which doesn't really matter what you buy. It's all the same. Just, if it stinks, it's good. And probably a little bit of that expert gardener topsoil, or not topsoil, but the topsoil is for something else. That does not go in the garden. This is garden soil for in-ground plants, which is close enough to, what this is. It's sort of a raised bed, but it's also in ground. The topsoil is for fix a patch over here. I'll show you that in a minute. While I'm standing here, I'm going to plant, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second to you. I guess I can show you how to do it. Basically, just spread the my pine straw mulch here aside, which is free and awesome. Nothing wrong with pine straw. Just don't use green. If you use green, you probably raise the acidity level of your soil, which would be good for blueberries and stuff, but not for peppers. But no, if it's brown, then it's not going to raise the acidity level of your soil. It's just carbon. And there's the hole. Looks like it's deep enough to me. Take some of this smelly stuff right here. I don't know what this is. Pennington Rejuvenate. All I know is it's organic plant feed. Oh, I thought it was open. It's not open. Sometimes I think they fill it up. Then when you smell it, you know why. That's what organic fertilizer looks like. I think it's just dried up bird shit or something like that. I don't know. It's about what it smells like. Dried up something. Shit. But yeah, just coat the hole with it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it out of this thing, spread them roots apart a little bit, loosen them up, and make sure that where the top of the soil in the cup is that it grew out of is about level with the top whenever I finish planting. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. And there we go. That actually barely took a minute to do. So I'm going to do that with these other 4 plants, and then I'll show you what the bed looks like. But yeah, there they are. 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3 mammoth jalapeno plants and 1, 2 regular jalapeno plants. And I got room for banana pepper. Maybe I don't know, might try put a bell pepper plant out here too. So next, tomato beds. This is the ones that are a little more, well, time consuming. You see I got my thermometer gauge and it does not fall below 60, which means we're good to go. I can plant anything I want to. Right here, I have this little cage kind of thing built at this end because I put cherry tomatoes here. Cherry tomato is an indeterminate vining plant, which means it's going to grow and grow every which direction and go all over everywhere. And I want it to do that because cherry tomatoes, I want it to have as many branches and places as possible to grow the tomatoes on. And then here with the cattle panel, which there's going to be Japanese long beans I'm going to have growing on the trellis here. But the tomato trellis, which that's a complete cattle panel folded over to make an arc. This is a half a cattle panel and the other half is over at that end. And these create trellises for my tomato plants to time to, I put cages on them also, but like the indeterminate vining tomatoes will grow up these, and I will keep them pruned, unlike the cherry, which I'll pretty much let go wild. I'll keep these pruned so that you get bigger tomatoes, and maybe not as many, but that's why I got enough room for about 20 plants here. So you get a couple of these tomato plants planted, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, planted that's the grape tomato. Tammy G is the variety. And here I got an early girl, which is one of the most common varieties planted in the garden. Early girl is a hybrid and it's an indeterminate. Indeterminate means vining. But what you'll see me do here is I'm going to pop that off. I'm going to take that little thing right there. That would have become another stem. I'm going to pop it off so that don't happen. I'll do the same to that one up there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hole right here, and I'm going to bury that sucker up to at least there. Maybe even take that one off and go deeper, but probably not. Probably do it right there. So, because you want to put them as deep as you can. Okay, so I got the deep long hole dug. Now the reason I dug it wide like that is because, get this thing out of here, I'm gonna plant it sideways, like so. That way it's deep. And I don't know what it is, but the old people tell you to do it like this, and they know what they're talking about. And that's the way I learned from my grandma 35 years ago, and it works. Show you in a minute. And there you go. That's what little sticks above the ground. And that'll grow into a big plant with a big root system. And one of the reasons I got so much mulch, you want to keep any dirt from getting on these leaves once you get the plant planted and once it's growing. Because 90% of your diseases, well, maybe not that much, about half your diseases come from the soil and the other half come from insects. So if you can keep the dirt off your leaves, you beat half the battle when it comes to disease. The other half, it ain't near as easy, but well, you just got to do what you got to do to get rid of the insects. At least that's my way of doing it. So I'm gonna finish up these, and then we'll show you what they look like, and we'll call it a night. Okay, so here we go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 early girls right here, 2 Rutgers, and what do I call that? Tammy G grape tomatoes. T-A-M-I-G. These are Rutgers. They're determinate as opposed to the indeterminates like the rest. The indeterminates grow like vines. They grow big. They branch out a lot. They get all in the way. These are your bush variety, as a lot would call them. They're determinants, all the tomatoes get done right about the same time. One day you come out, they're all red and ready to be picked. Whereas the other one just continues to produce tomatoes day after day. You come out every day and pick a few. These, typically people that make sauces and stuff, grow a lot of these because they harvest them all at once and they go to spend the day or two making sauce, cooking sauce. But I just make them for burgers and to sell and give away to people. So there's that. I need to get my seeds ready. Tomorrow I'll plant the rest of those over here. I'll have room for more. Watermelon's going to go in there. We got Japanese long beans there. I got 2 beds over there that have to be planted with about 50 okra plants, I believe. I'll be able to fit on them 2 patches. And the rest of the yard is looking good. I got to put some wildflower seed over there so my pollinators will have some flowers to draw them to the yard. And I got a lot of shit to do. This is one flower bed at the end of the house. We'll start here. Just some flowers, coleus, miniature roses, a place for the cat to hang out. In the big area I dug up that I talked about earlier in the bright sunlight now. And here we have they've been planted. Today's the 28th, so they've been planted 6 days, almost a week. They're starting to grow. They've been fertilized. I got some more tomato plants to put in. Picked those up yesterday. Smaller plants, cheaper. And they'll come up a little later than the others. They'll be going in right here where I have my stones marked with what variety of plant they are. And there's already one big boy here. Go through, might be a little while before this thing starts budding and making scuppernongs, muscadines. I think that's officially what they are. I think it's pretty interchangeable. Better boy, better boy, better boy. We got an early girl here. I should get my seeds to plant the oriental yard long beans pretty soon. So yeah, I use those stones to remind me of what's planted where. I know that one's the cherry tomato plant. Some Rutgers and Celebrity. So yeah, everything's planted now. Well, not everything. Just most everything. And about half the okra has just been planted yesterday. So I just got to keep it moist till they come up. They grow pretty quick. And I'll be planting some more over here along with some peas. Got some catnip for my kitty right there. And some what they're called, shamrocks. Well, look at little cute little grass coming in. We'll see if that'll hold up to being drained on by the diverter there that keeps it off the patio. Creates a big hole. So I'm going to fill that in part of the way anyway. And then plant some more grass. I pulled all that up because it was all weeds. You can see there's a lot more of them still here on the edge, but I'm just gonna, I seeded this earlier. Maybe by the end of this year I'll have all that fixed and all that fixed. And that's that. So hope you enjoyed the garden. That's what I do all day.